Hello there, friends, family. I was out here meditating and grounding, and I just thought I'd give you guys an update on what's been going on with me spiritually, energetically. And I'd also had some important information to tell you concerning one of my previous videos, the video light body activation, how to. It turns out I made a error in some of the breathing technique, and I want to edit that now for you. So basically, I accidentally reversed the tetrahedrons. Okay, so in the video, I told you to breathe with your inhalations, envisioning a right side up tetrahedron, which would be a right side up pyramid spinning clockwise with your inhalations. That's wrong. With your inhalations, you want to envision an upside down tetrahedron or pyramid spinning. So it's like a vortex of energy, much like, when you flush your toilet or you drain your bathtub. You just as it swirls down in a clockwise funneling motion, this is what you'd want to envision with your mind's eye. You want to envision energy spinning in a upside down tetrahedron or funnel of energy. I like to envision a tornado of prana or white light coming in with my inhalations. Okay, and then when you get it into your solar plexus with your full belly breath, what I do is I hold my breath for at least 4 seconds, and I like to bless the prana or the oxygen and say thank you for nourishing my body, mind, spirit complex. I love you. 4 seconds of a good mantra or whatnot. And then with your exhalations, you want to envision a right side up pyramid or tetrahedron or upside down tornado of energy spinning counterclockwise from your feet. And it would go up your spine and out the top of your head. Okay? So with your inhalations, you envision a tornado of white light or a upside down pyramid or tetrahedron spinning clockwise. Okay, pull it in. And it is very important that you envision, as it comes in, you envision it, you follow it with your mind's eye to every major gland or chakra. Okay, and after a while, you should begin to feel an actual pressure or a lump of energy there. And this is the prana moving through your system, okay? Moving through your endocrine system, which is basically your chakras. Okay, so you get it into your solar plexus, give it you don't have to give it a mantra or whatever, but it is very helpful to use intention, because that's just the way that this simulation we live in works. You need to authorize things with your intention for it to be fully manifested. So, so when I do this, after a while, I'll start, inflating the chakras with this prana. And then I try to bring it back to a center with my heart. And instead of visualizing these funnels of energy or these tetrahedrons of energy, I bring it into my heart center. And I let it do the spinning of the tetrahedrons for me, okay? This is how you would activate your MerKaBa, essentially, because they need to be spinning faster than the speed of light. And you can't envision that with your mind's eye. Well, I can't anyway, and a lot of other people. So what we do is we let the heart do the work for us. Once we've been visualizing the tetrahedrons properly for a while, you then want to put your mind's eye or your intention into your heart space and envision a glowing white orb or sphere of energy that's growing and growing and essentially encompassing the whole of your body. But with your inhalations, you just envision a clockwise energy pulling into your heart center, okay, from up to from the sides, to the front, to the back, pulling into your heart center from the ground. And then with your exhalation, you want to envision a counterclockwise spin, and that white hot orb of energy growing you know, just getting brighter and hotter. And then eventually you're going to want to push it when you start to feel it grow, and you're going to feel it. You know, some of the first times I did this, it felt like I was going to have a heart attack. That's how intense this begins to feel. But you want to, once it begins to glow and give a lot of a pressure and energy output, you want to envision it. You want to push it out with your mind's eye, push it out into the outskirts of your body, to where you're basically, your whole body is inside of a big white hot sphere of energy. And just keep, you know, inhalation clockwise, energy pulling in down, you know, through your endocrine system, into the heart. Exhalation counterclockwise, inflating that white hot sphere. And this is the highest you will probably give your vibration if you do this technique for a large amount of time. But essentially what I really use it for is just to get rid of all energetic blockages in my body. And it's just for optimal health and alignment more than anything. You can, you know, with a lot of practice and technique and intention, you can eventually use it to blast off with your MerKaBa and go extra dimensional. But I don't, you know, I suggest aligning it first and doing a lot of practice first, because if you're not ready, you can blast off to somewhere you have no control over. So, and I've done that before. I've done that many times. So, you know, and it just always helps. Once again, it helps to have intention in mind and to state your intentions, because you basically authorize what's going to happen to you, or by stating what you want to happen to you. You know what I mean? Before I go to sleep at night, I don't want to fall into an unconscious negative karmatic dream, because I'm over that, you know. A lot of times if I don't fully state my intentions before I go to sleep, I will fall into the recesses of my subconscious and you know, basically have what you would call a nightmare. I have a lot of using dreams still, and I have a lot of fighting dreams and a lot of sexual dreams. And I am fully aware those are my main three, you know, categories where I'm doing my shadow work. But I don't need to be reminded every single night of this negative karma. You know what I mean? So I instead state my intentions. I would like to be fully lucid in my astral travels, in my dreaming. So I ask my higher self, and she androgynously authorizes it 99% of the time. It's very powerful. You know, you state your intentions with the food you're eating, you bless the food. This is where prayer came from originally. This is the co-creative power that we have, you know, that your consciousness can alter reality and alter matter, you know, mind over matter. There is no spoon. So if you have a lot of nightmares and stuff like that, this is a good way to get rid of them. And then also, if you want to lucid dream or astral project, this is a good way to engage that ability, is by stating your intentions. Okay. I wanted to tell you guys something else too that was kind of for entertainment value. So I had an interesting astral projection the last couple nights, and then also another thing I wanted to tell you guys as far as telepathy. I've been working on honing my telepathic abilities, and I've been doing it, you know, simply by dream journaling. It seems that when I come out of a delta wave dream state and I come back into a theta, right where my consciousness is in my bed, and then back into a dream, then I'm in my body, in my bed. You know, it's right before you wake up. Basically, the sunlight's coming through the window, and your pineal gland is secreting serotonin. But anyway, you're in a theta state, and when I'm in this state, I am able to receive telepathically unlimited amounts of information. Either, I don't know if it's my higher self or a spirit guide or whoever it is, but anything I ask is instantly answered. And and in a complex manner. So the problem is when the more awake I become, or the more I fall into a beta brainwave or an alpha brainwave, I lose this connection. So what I have to do essentially is ask a single question at a time, and then try to pop myself out of that theta wave and instantly dream journal, because I keep a dream journal next to my bed. And sometimes I'll just pop open the voice to text and make a memo on my phone. Okay, so this is a good way for you to practice your telepathic abilities. And also, if you want to start doing this, I highly suggest stating your intentions. You know, that many religions would call this prayer, but we know in the spiritual community that word has kind of been jaded, so we like to say, I guess, a more convoluted thing like state your intentions. But essentially it is the same thing. It's prayer, except for you're not giving the power away to an outside entity, or you're not idol worshiping. This is for yourself. You know, you're asking your higher self, which is you, for the help, for the power, for the, discernment, for the intuition, for the foresight, for the hindsight, for all these, gifts that we have that are latent right now. This is why we do shadow work, is to unlock these abilities and to grow, body, mind, spirit complex, and to just ascend back to the sun, ascend back to the source, because that's the whole point of life, right? So I know there was something else I wanted to tell you guys. It was extremely important, or it was important to me anyway. Okay, this is interesting. I had asked to meet a spirit guide before a meditation, and it happened. I'll just tell you what I remember. I left my body and I hovered over my bed, and this is the weird part. My sight was very crappy. It was like I felt like a baby, like my eyes just weren't good enough, but I could still see silhouettes and colors and shapes, but just not very much detail, or at least my memory couldn't retain this information anyway. But this is what I remember. There was a guide there, and I told the guide, well, let's go straight up. And it was a man, or a masculine energy with a voice anyway. He said, no, we're going down. And I was like, okay. And essentially he just shot down, and I followed him. And we went through some kind of it was like high speed, but through matter. So it was really blurry and grainy and dark. It was like if you were to visualize hauling ass through a bunch of rock and dirt and all kinds of earth. But anyway, we broke through finally to a cavern, or an opening. And I shit you not, I mean, this must have been the fourth dimensional equivalent to the cavern that we were inside of. But there were these entities there, and they really remind me of what are called the Darrow, but they weren't as intelligent. These beings were like maybe the sentience level of a dog or a kangaroo, some kind of a mammal, but they had large heads, and they reminded me of Humpty Dumpty. Like, it was just a big head with little limbs. Anyway, there was a troop of these things, and they saw us, and they immediately started to try to attack us, and we were hovering and flying around, so they were reaching up and trying to like hit us and bring us down. And my guide was just laughing, and I just kept following him. And then we went over to what seemed to be a large stairwell or a scaffolding or something like that. Anyway, we went up there, and then that's where we began our conversation. And I asked him a couple of questions. I don't remember jack shit of it, of course, but what I do remember is this. I asked him, who am I? What is my soul group? And he kind of hesitated. I go, are you a man? I was like a child just asking out of place questions. And he laughed, and he said, I am not a man. And I said, well, have you ever been a man incarnate on earth? And he said, oh yes, many, many, many times. And then I said, well, what soul group am I from? And he told me some weird shit that doesn't really make any sense at all. He said something like letters, like LGKENK. It was just dumb. When I woke up, I instantly Googled it, and nothing, of course, came up whatsoever. It was just, because it's a very analytical left brain title. Anyway, like I would even know, what the English translation of my soul group would be. You know what I mean? So that was useless intel, essentially. But he also said it has to be either that or this group because they visit you at least 3 to 5 times a day. And that blew my mind. I was just like, holy shit, okay. So essentially I got really minimal information, but I definitely got some kind of a confirmation. And then the experience just kind of ran dry as far as memory. And I just remember being back in my bed and trying to instantly Google that meaningless title. So I just wanted to share that experience with you all. I guess it's not relevant at this point. I know that if I was to retain or remember specific information pertaining to past lives or extra dimensional experiences as another entity, it could drastically affect my current reality and relationships, and that could turn into a negative thing. So and so I just wanted to share that, guys, with you guys too. So I guess the main core, the main message from this video I want to share with you all would be to state your intentions, of course, with everything you do, because when you put it out there in the ether like that, it's almost like your thoughts, and it is like your thoughts and your words, and stating them is magical. This is where abracadabra came from, okay? You kind of you draw the energy out of the ether and kind of put it into formation by stating your intentions. So it's very important. You don't always have to state out loud. You can also, a lot of times, I just kind of telepathically communicate to my higher self and guides, and they always respond in the form of energy, or emotion. So I want you to state your intentions to get your goals. Be aware of what you are experiencing in your subconscious dreaming, because it is basically your subconscious mind is trying to communicate to you the blockages in your emotional body, okay, that you need to heal. So like past traumas and stuff like that. And it's going to be in parables and symbolism. So you're just going to have to decipher it as it comes. But you will see a reoccurring theme. And then, of course, don't forget that the MerKaBa would be inhalations, funnel or tornado of energy spinning clockwise down through your endocrine system or your chakras. And once it gets to your heart area, your solar plexus right here, where your chest plate is, you hold your breath for 4 seconds, and then exhale would be envisioning a right side up pyramid spinning counterclockwise, or an upside down tornado spinning counterclockwise up your spine and out your head. And then also I wanted to tell you to keep your tongue to the roof of your mouth. Okay, leave no vacuum leak, as it were, through your mouth, and so you're breathing only through your nasal passage. But it's very important that you keep your tongue to the roof of your mouth with your inhalations, because that essentially electromagnetically pulls the prana through the top of your chakra channel. So that's all I really want to tell you guys, and I hope you're having a wonderful weekend, and you're gonna have a fucking amazing week. So love and light. All right.